So if you have, her passing on like this, do you think that the British monarchy is still going to be able to have that
That influence can wane
yes,
a bit?
Yes.
It's too early to say what will happen. Although there have been questions again about that unism within the United Kingdom and all of its
and the Commonwealth
nations and all of that. There are even calls by some activists and some free thinkers who think that the idea of the Commonwealth still brings to mind the era of colonialism. And that's a form of neo-colonialism, and that we should do away with anything Commonwealth because again it brings to the mind some of the past deeds of the colonial masters. But whatever it is, the Queen has died. She's passed on. Okay, we say no.
They're Igbo people.
You just say she has
You can't.
died.
She has died. She has
But
died.
Africans, we don't. Our kings don't die.
We know. What did
They transit to the great beyond.
and they now carry people with them.
No, that used to be in the past. It doesn't happen again. It doesn't happen again.
So what about the King's Horseman?
No, that was in the olden days.
So they don't used to require 7 people to follow to help him carry his load to the other side.
But she lived a very good life.
He lived a very good impactful life.
Yeah.
96 years, 70 years on the throne.
Wow.
It's amazing. That's the longest serving monarch, one of the longest serving monarchs in the world, longest in the UK.
Yeah.
And she a huge impact.
And the thing about the way she passed on was like some few days ago she had met with the new PM elect. And
handed over the
and
baton.
She was still, she was still on her feet. She was still all cheery, and 2-3 days after.
2 days actually.
2 days after,
because this was Tuesday, and then yesterday, that was when she passed. It's like all those situations where they even had to wait for her grandson to come all the way from America, so everybody gathered there, and she passed on peacefully. Somebody was even saying that her husband, they had been together for way over 70 years, and the fact that the man had gone, maybe she was missing him.
There's a way these things happen where
people have been together for too long.
After immediately one goes, the other one follows. It doesn't take a year before the other one just
just go. But it's I don't know what it would be like now. I don't know what the world is going to be like. Everybody, you remember the song, I'm going to London to see the Queen.
You go to London to see the King now. It's okay.
And there's no longer Charlie again. Now it's
Charlie himself.
Charlie himself is the one that's there. Yeah. All right, but moving from world news. Moving on from world news, the NEC have passed a vote of confidence on IU. So there's no resignation in sight. There's no sacking in sight for IU. IU seems to be that IU
control,
is going to stay. All right, and the chairman of the BOT, Jibrin resigned and said, okay, if somebody has to leave, I choose to leave.
Like if that will bring the issue of equity and fairness to the table.
To the table. And then he has been replaced by Senator
Adolphus Wabara of Abia State. Yes.
Of Abia State and Southeasterner.
Yeah, Southeasterner. Yes.
But Wike is still talking and still saying that it is not enough.
It's IU he wants.
Is IU? Is there at this point, or has it not been from the beginning?
Without him, demand. If you have this governor still appeal to as a front. Surok.
But the one that can be done now is IU's, and Wike even is going for that. Is insisting that when Atiku won the ticket, Atiku told him that IU would vacate that position.
Well, nobody was there.
But he's sticking by his guns now.
Well, I listened to Wike yesterday. I think it was, he's been going around the state and going to other states to commission projects, and of course doing those commissioning, it's always an opportunity for him to say all manner of things.
With his band.
So with his band, yes.
I'm sorry, it's the band for me. With the song, do you know the song?
As they pain them,
it's okay.
Sweet me. Yeah, of course. There's no way you will miss it at this time if you're a news person. So it's always on TV. So, but I just know that the PDP would have to find a way to probably move on. I'm looking at what Atiku would do, because he's the major stakeholder here. Is the one that has everything to lose if the party disintegrates at this time. Others also have a lot to lose, because again, Wike is still a member of the PDP. He's anointed candidate for government in Rivers. He's a member of the PDP. And for me, his call is just all self-centered. self-serving, greedy ambition, and he's a sore loser. But again, that's for the PDP to sort out.
All right. What's interesting for me is the fact that the presidential candidate of the PDP said yesterday that the constitution, the PDP has a constitution that guides it, and we are all forgetting that it's that same constitution that birthed this crisis. Now, all right. More details on page 28. More details of Charles is King of England on page 29, and still on the front page of the Nation newspaper. 7 injured in Ibadan collapsed building. There's a building that collapsed. Buildings are dropping. At this point now, I think the building sector should just be checked.
Something needs to happen. Yeah.
Someone was saying that I hope it's not because building materials are now ridiculously expensive,
you can't
so
rule
they now
that
use
out.
substandard.
You can't rule that out
materials.
Because if in 1 year, for example, the price of cement had moved from 2,100 to close to 5,000 naira now.
That's double.
And that's just cement alone. The same thing is happening with iron.
A lot of people are probably using substandard products now.
It's not impossible. You can't rule that out. You remember when I spoke with the engineer, the building engineer, I said these days you have contractors always battling with owners of buildings who continue to say, look, why can't you just adjust this, make these adjustments here and there? But
the contractors are trying to do a good job, and the owners I don't have that money.
So we can't rule out that kind of
factors.
issue.
Well, more details on page 6. We also have 7,000 donkey genitals. Privates.
Donkey what?
Privates.
Private what?
Genitals.
So what happens to them? Donkeys? Is this stolen or what?
They were intercepted.
Oh, okay. For people who do these things, taken away from Africa, right?
Well, what we have in the report is that some 7,000 pieces of male donkey genitals being smuggled to Hong Kong, China.
I know it's going to be China.
Have been intercepted by.
They eat all manner of things.
The NCS, Murtala Mohammed International Airport. They eat everything in China. It's scary.
That's why coronavirus was. They
eat everything.
Donkey genitals. No, why not the donkeys itself?
Why does it have to be the genitals of the donkey? It's scary, honestly, because they said they had 16 sacks of the donkey genitals, and
from Nigeria, right?
The smell was what drew the attention.
The sad part of this report is that they must have killed. For you to have 7,000 genitals, that means they killed 7,000 donkeys.
You
must have killed 7,000. I'm sure it's not going to be in Nigeria alone. They're probably going to be in some other African countries, maybe Niger.
They now brought it to Nigeria.
And they now brought it together for
exportation. And that person says
how was it? Was it
that
preserved?
Person says is an importer and an exporter
of donkey genitals.
It was the smell that attracted.
And because it's to preserve 7,000 genitals of donkeys. And I'm sure it's no
other
thing.
How many donkeys do we have in Nigeria?
Even in the whole of Africa.
That they are killing.
A lot of these animals are already listed as endangered species. They are not. You keep having them going down in numbers and all of that. So, and those are some of the things. The poaching of these animals and all of that is what is.
It's China that will eat octopus. It's China that will eat baby rats.
There's one deranged mind that posts video on Facebook that eats those things.
Live.
It doesn't even kill them before frying them like this.
Live. Yes.
Let's move on, please.
So people that are going to Guangzhou and Beijing and all of that, so just eat your rice and chicken, because you never can. Because some of these things they just make it look like meat.
It has been cooked and
you just move. All right. More details on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. Reps summon PENCOM DG. And that is on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. So the House of Representatives Committee on Finance has summoned the Director General of the National Pensions Commission, Dr. Aisha Dahiru Umar, to appear before it on Monday over the ongoing hearing of the midterm expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. So what they're saying that the committee expressed displeasure at the DG's absence. Apparently she was summoned, but she did not go. They don't go. Why don't they go?
They will eventually go, but
Well, it said that documents available to show which expressed displeasure that at the DG's absence. Said documents available to it showed that PENCOM remitted only 1 billion naira out of 20.7 billion generated in 2021. So this issue of remittance that we keep having, one would think that when the TSA came in,
it was supposed to be direct payments into a thing.
Why are people paying to the agency and not to the TCA?
And then you have these disparities in collections and remittances. And
this is just one of how many that we have.
We've reported, I think, close to 5-6 different
agencies, parastatals, that have not remitted,
and billions.
I think the Port Authority is also one of it.
We've reported several.
NNPC is also one of it.
We keep having these disparities between, you collected this amount of money, you are remitting this amount of money. If you collected over 20 billion and you are remitting just 1 billion.
1 billion. That's an akpa.
And akpa is somebody that's squandered and maybe unknowingly.
Oh, okay.
This one is fraud, though, allegedly now.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they've summoned her, and hopefully she'll be able to.
And she should go there with documents too.
And not just words of mouth.
And then say, I'll come back in with documents. That was what happened when the NNPC, now chairman, CEO, yeah.
NNPC MD, now
CEO. So, but I'm sure the rep seems to be doing a lot now.
Of probing
investigations, but one thing is for the reps to probe.
What will come out of the probing?
I'm hoping that EFCC is working closely
with them,
with the House of Reps committee probing these things. A lot
of these probes have to do with
financial crimes, yes, economic and financial crimes. So I think there has to be the EFCC operatives also sitting with the committee to take notes, to take evidences, and take submissions, so that immediately there's anybody found one thing, we should just take them to court. They should be prosecuted.
More details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have man kills 90-year-old father in Kwara State. We still have this ongoing. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, we talked about
someone that
two brothers that chopped off their father's arm
for cattle rustling,
for to rustle cattle and sell it. And now what we have, what we have here now is his picture is even there. The police in Kwara State paraded a 29-year-old Ibrahim Hassan, who allegedly killed his 90-year-old father, Sabi Ibrahim. And the deceased was said to be a retired army corporal, and he was said to have hypnotized his father with paracetamol mixed with some substances before strangling him.
To achieve what precisely into the law?
Thank you very much. So he confessed to have done all those things, and then the man became weak and dizzy. And this he did after coming from the bank, where he took his father to renew his ATM. Took the father on a motorcycle he borrowed to convey him to an isolated, uncompleted building, and then strangled him. And after dispossessing him of his ATM card,
just to get the man's money, he killed his father.
So he escaped to Kaduna from Kwara State, and then he started withdrawing from his father's account. And guess how much he withdrew?
How much?
59,000 naira.
And he killed the poor man.
So this is very simple. He's saying, or he confessed, the purpose of killing his father was to dispossess him of the ATM card. So why didn't he just steal it?
Well, we don't know. We don't know the amount of money in the account, but he has only withdrawn.
Okay, maybe if there's still money there.
Yeah, so maybe he has only withdrawn 50, but whatever amount is in. So these young people, anyways.
Why didn't he just steal the card and go?
Maybe because the 90-year-old man may not be so active to quickly go to the bank, but you see, there's a lot going on out there, especially in the minds of our young ones, when it comes to quest for money. That this desire for money, desire for good life, without understanding that whether you like it or not, you have to do the hard work.
Do you not think that is why the education sector really, really needs to be a priority?
Well, it has to be a priority, but beyond education, I think we also have to look at family involvement in the way we train our kids. We also have to look at what we do as a people when we over-glorify. Yeah, education, I agree. But it's a societal problem. We need to also look at the issue of...
It's a societal problem, Fuad, but if you look at it, the fact that some people, have gotten used to the fact that you don't have to go to school to make money.
That's one part of the problem.
They can do and then people are now in a hurry to make money, but I feel that, don't you think that
it's a part of the problem. It's one part of the problem that we need to look at, but the reward system also, Sandra, in the country, we need to also look at the reward system. You have a situation where the problem, the advent of social media keeps putting it in the face and eyes of these young lads. Situations where people just display wealth, questionable wealth. They know it. They see lifestyles. They don't understand how wealth should come from hard work. So and they feel that
some of these lifestyles are
not even real. Are just fake.
And
then you also have a system that, again, we have to also look at our politicians. We have some of them who just go about displaying wealth, who just go about flaunting their wealth. There's a particular senator, I don't know whether he has a special video person that moves around with him. He leaves his house, somebody's videoing him, he enters his car, somebody's videoing him. And this is a guy that practically has no other job other than the fact that he has
celebrity.
You ask yourself, this is supposed to be a public figure as a politician. So you have the reward system, you have societal values, family values, all gone. We've seen situations where parents are even happy that their child is a yahoo yahoo.
I know some mothers that took their child. Say, please help me teach.
You know them?
Hmm?
You said
I've
know
heard.
Okay.
I've heard.
I wanted to be sure.
Don't carry me. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. You said
no,
you know.
because you can't carry me now.
You know, okay.
No.
But honestly, yes, I have situations. I've seen.
There are situations.
Actually, I've seen a father who told me that yes, he's actually happy that his son is a yahoo yahoo and he's doing well.
There are situations like that.
It's very unfortunate. Yeah.
This man now has killed his 90-year-old father for ATM card. More details on page 6 of the Nation newspaper.
Scary, you know. If he can kill his father, he will kill anybody.
Above the Nation newspaper, we have DSS, military items, cash, financial instruments found in Mamu's home and office.
Yeah, it's interesting, the development from that story, the revelations coming.
Who is Mamu?
Well, the information we have is that he was a negotiator, the chief negotiator.
Yes, but is that the only job that he has?
Well, I guess that
he
was a former military personnel. According to information, I think he was part of the Air Force or Naval Force or something. But he was a former military personnel, and the information DSS is giving is that he may appear in court very soon because they found some cash, some military equipment, a whole lot of things. I think he has gone beyond just being a negotiator. I think they are looking at the issue of conspiracy and being a member or an inner circle of that ring. I think that's what the DSS is trying to put out, and but it's still a developing story. The revelations are still coming in. But it would be nice to really see, what will happen when he appears in court and the cases the government will put up against him.
Well, a lot of incriminating materials found in his home, and they've not even checked his office. Who knows what they'll find there. More details on page 28 of the Nation newspaper. We also have now 2023, no option to victory, Adamu tells APC leaders. That's the national chairman of APC, probably gingering
themselves.
Yes.
It's needed at this time.
Yeah. More details on page 29. We also have over 30 aspirants undergo screening for Alafi. So from 86 is 30 now.
Okay, so
have they screened?
So that means they've removed 50 something. So we have 30 now. Yeah, it's good. At least the figures are dropping.
They are working now. Okay, so over 30 aspirants contesting the stool of Alafi has been screened as the exercise enters the 4th day. And what we have is that sources say armed operatives, Amotekun, yes, and police were there to provide security. And the screening conducted by members of the Oyomesi. Whenever I'm reading this Alafin story, it just reminds me of when we were in school, and they always taught us these things, and you thought it was just something.
It was just one fiction or myth
or history. But now you read it now. These people are actually real. These traditions and
real. Yeah,
they're actually real.
Foundations too, like that of the Alafin.
The Alafin. So you still have the Oyomesi, that's the Oyo Traditional Council, of course, led by the Bashor of Oyo. Well, they are still continuing. 10 aspirants are facing the people daily. The screening continues. That so far,
but it's been line to 30.
No. Apparently, so far more than 30 have been screened.
Okay, so it's not that they've dropped off. Okay, all right.
So yes. All right, and finally from the Nation newspaper, UBA grows profit to 85.76 billion naira in 6 months.
They're doing well for themselves.
They're doing
and their shareholders.
God will help all of them. All right, and now let's look at what is trending from the Guardian newspaper. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that you can watch the program live on Facebook and YouTube. And what we're doing right now is trends in the papers, looking through the major headlines, or looking through the headlines from our dailies. The major headline from the Guardian newspaper: the Queen dies, long live the King. Read the story on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian. We also have here PDP. IU survives as NEC passes vote, confidence vote. Wike defiant. And we have riders. BOT chairmanship. Walid Jibrin steps out.
Steps down, yeah.
Wabara steps in to placate South. I'm not aware about Makinde's replacement of Tambuwal as PDP's Governors Forum chair, says party spokesperson.
You can't tell it's happened
How
by
did
fiat.
that happen now?
Without any, it can't just happen. Yeah.
How can that happen without any gathering of some sort?
Yeah.
Or your PDP happy with emergence of Makinde as chairman of Party Governors Forum? When did that happen?
I think Wiki and his people are just somewhere faffing around and hoping that they can just do things.
That was not even in the news.
It was not, so maybe. But well, like I said, I think the party is divided.
Or is it part of their demands?
No, I think regionally we have the southern part of the southern members of the PDP, the northern people, and everybody just doing their own thing.
Okay.
So,
all right. Wike vows to sustain fight until IU exits office. Says BOT chairman's resignation is a distraction and a charade.
Very good.
Article wants crisis resolved within party's constitution.
Which constitution? If it was our constitution, he would not have even emerged as a party candidate.
But so their argument is that the president that was from PDP that left is from the south. That's their argument.
Whatever it is, God help them. I think Nigerians are. For me, I think it's just this is too much distraction. I don't know why the papers keep. But again, they have to report the story. Atiku is a major contender. You
cannot destroy Rivers APC.
APC, yeah.
Eze tells Wike.
He said he has been dismantling the structure of the APC in Rivers. I don't know what is running in the minds. So he must know some things that makes him feel that is the alpha and omega of Nigerian politics at this time. That's the posture I see, Sandra, of Wike anytime he talks.
At this point now, I don't know what is happening, but Wike's camp seems to be making interesting headlines.
But shouldn't something tell Wike that he is not as big as he thinks he is if Atiku can actually defeat him at the primaries? He went into that primaries with the same posture and thinking. Remember,
it was close. Fuad.
But he was defeated.
It was too close.
But he was defeated. Remember, he went to the southeast, and I remember I think it was in Anambra State when he was talking to the delegates, and he was talking about Peter Obi. Then Peter Obi was still in the PDP. That your son cannot win. Don't waste your vote, even if it's just one. So he has always believed in himself. He has always seen himself like somebody that is larger than life. But he has to understand that there are people who don't talk as much as he does, but who have better strategies and better influence, or even a bigger influence.
Fuad, what I have from this report is that so there are a list of things that happened, but what I have here is that Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto resigned as chairman of PDP Governors Forum.
But there has to be a gathering where somebody has to be elected.
So when he resigned, they said, this report is saying that Sheyi Makinde emerged as the new...
Through which process? Was there a gathering where, the governors of the PDP chose him? I like the fact that Sheyi Makinde is also getting completely distracted with PDP's national politics. Nothing much is being heard so much about his own politics in Oyo State. He wants a second term. He's running for second term.
Okay.
So he probably should not even behave like a Wike that is an outgoing. He has done his 2 terms.
Well, more details on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper, more as regards PDP and their stories. Court extends stopping Buhari NBC from shutting down broadcast stations.
We had that in the news this morning.
Yes, that's on page 3. All right, we also have ADC not for sale, says Kachiko. Tax government on 20 million uneducated kids. I don't know, but ADC is really, really, really quiet.
Well, but at least as a party,
after the emergence of Dumebi, yes,
are they quiet? Just last week they had their own internal wranglings and between the chairman of the party.
We're only hearing about them in Lagos.
But this is a national thing.
That's what I'm saying. At least NNPP has been going around in.
Well, if you had to list parties with a structure that could make you feel okay at the general polls, they are going to make a reasonable impact. I think ADC is not really on the list, other than the fact that they have some media presence and all of that. In terms of structure, really, I think the order for me, if I had to do maybe the first 5 or 6, I'll probably look at the APC, the PDP, the Labour Party, NNPP, then maybe SDPK, maybe Accord Party.
Accord
Party seems to have 1 or 2
grassroots
offices and strengths here and there. Maybe ABGA, because at least they have a governor. In the east. Beyond all of that, I don't know. Other parties, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, there's one party I'm interested in, and apparently they're even two. I'm interested in the Blitz Alliance. You also have Youth Democratic ADC statement from Kachiku on page 7. We also have Nigeria's oil production slumps to an all-time barrels per day. Okay.
I'm sure it's going to be more vandal.
Office in Kaduna. That's on page 27. And finally, from The Guardian, UBA records double-digit growth. Declares 0.20 kobo interim dividend. That's on page 18.
The shareholders will be happy.
Yes, that's on page 18 of the Guardian newspaper. Now let's quickly run through the Punch newspaper. You're still on to trends in the papers on Mainland 98.3 FM, and the major headline there: Queen Elizabeth's death at 96. World leaders pay tributes. Britain mourns Charles becomes king. And that's on pages 2 and 25 of the Punch newspaper. We also have UK Prime Minister Buhari, Biden, Obama, Macron, others hail Britain's longest reigning monarch. Nigeria's monkeypox death toll highest in Africa.
Really?
That's coming from WHO.
Wow.
And that's on page 15. And we're not paying attention to it. And even NCDC hasn't,
done much
any stats,
statistics and data
on it. But apparently,
the nature is telling us something.
People are dying from it in Nigeria here. So that means it is something that we should pay attention to. It's something that we should get more orientation on. Because
it's almost like a world, a global thing,
yes.
The monkeypox thing.
And they're saying that, they disclosed this during a virtual press briefing, and they said majority of monkeypox cases are in Nigeria, DR Congo, and Ghana. For monkeypox, there are now 524 confirmed cases and 12 deaths across 11 African countries. So it's not
really something to worry about.
Yes,
if it's 12 across Africa,
it's minimal. So they're saying that the majority of the cases are in Nigeria, and of the 12 deaths, 6 occurred in Nigeria, 4 in Ghana, and 2 in Central African Republic.
I'm not saying this data or statistics is wrong or trying to, bring down the report of the World Health Organization. What I'm just saying is, maybe these are the countries that are reporting these cases.
Yeah, maybe the other ones are not saying anything.
So sometimes when you hear this, when you read this kind of report here,
okay,
it may just be that Nigeria, Ghana, and these other countries are the ones reporting the cases, or are probably the ones even detecting the cases and then reporting the cases. Some other African countries may not even have what it takes to detect that.
Monkeypox.
Just think it's just one death or something that is happening to them.
Well, just for information, monkeypox is a rare viral zoonotic infectious disease. That means that it's an infection transmitted from animals to humans.
People just stop eating monkey, for example.
Why are people eating monkeys? It occurs sporadically, primarily in remote villages and near tropical rainforests. All right. And so let's be aware, read more, and
you don't know people eat monkeys?
Pay attention to your health. If people can eat snake, of course they can eat monkeys. UBA grows first half profit to 85.7 billion naira. That's on page 23. Lagos woman set ablaze for kidnapping baby dies. Jungle justice.
I don't know this, but
jungle justice.
There's a lot of times you are not even sure that it's not just
ever since I was like really young and in Mushi, this divorced couple, the man now married a new wife. Okay. So the new wife did not like, the old wife and the children, but the children were staying with their father. And, the mother of the children came to see the children.
And there was an
and out of spite and bitterness or whatnot, the wife, the stepmom,
younger wife,
screamed, cried wolf.
And the other one was killed.
And she was set ablaze. And, while she was burning and whatnot, the husband came and he was like, that's the mother of those children. Oof. It was a very unfortunate situation.
So this issue of jungle justice.
The husband and wife were arrested.
They will be arrested.
Both of them were arrested. And, because he wasn't around, but then people were just angry. And they arrested both the man and his wife. So this issue of jungle justice. They should even
arrest those that said the woman ablaze too.
But everybody ran.
They will run, but they should be fished out too.
Everybody ran. And let's also not forget that the man that was apprehended recently, that they said he kidnapped a child, and when they find later on, checked, the woman was the one that gave the man that to help her carry the child somewhere. So this jungle justice thing, I think there should be more stringent
I think the
laws.
guy on bike, Abby.
The guy on bike,
he was almost killed though.
He was almost lynched. Yeah,
he was almost lynched. Yeah,
let's also not forget those 4 Alu boys.
Yeah,
they went to collect their own money and then somebody cried thief. And
that wasn't really. That's unfortunate. Alu 5, yeah.
The Alu 4, yeah.
Is it 4 or 5? Yeah,
4.
4, okay, yeah.
Young boys, and they were set ablaze. They were first beaten, humiliated, and then.
And the sad part is that when you have this situation of jungle justice, you also have mothers, you have elders who are supposed to intervene.
They'll be there.
They'll be there also urging people on.
I don't know what the person would do, but let the law take its course. Some people are saying that some people police are corrupt. They'll still release them.
We need to still trust the system,
And then why have blood on your hands? I don't get it.
I remember that even the Bado era too, we had a situation like that too, where I think one entertainer was lynched too, from this issue of jungle justice and all of that. So we just need to be very, very careful with things like this.
All right, well, this particular story is on page 5 of the Punch newspaper, and it's unfortunate. The suspect, a female ritualist identified as Tosi. Suspected female ritualist, suspected, who was rescued from being lynched by angry mob.
Eventually died.
She has eventually died in the hospital. More details on page 5. Moving on now, we also have police hoodlums demolish 50 Lagos buildings. Victims protest. What's the reason for the demolition?
I'm sure the government is all out there trying to.
The plan,
but all the same, I think there's a bit of discretion has to be applied here.
People spend millions.
Where I understand that probably going after distressed buildings and.
Well, landlords and residents of Oluwa Palace community in the Ibejuleke local government area of Lagos State have accused policemen of the Lagos State Environment and Special Offences Enforcement Unit and hoodlums of demolishing their houses and rendering them homeless. And Punch gathered that hoodlums alongside police stormed the community with bulldozers and destroyed over 50 structures, including houses.
There's a demolition exercise shops, by these people. When they come.
And what the residents are lamenting is they were not even issued a notice for the demolition, adding that people who lost their property had been traumatized. I remember some months ago we also talked about one story. They demolished some buildings
in Ikorodu.
Yes, and
and then I think one person had some landlords
two
died.
Landlords fainted and died. Yes, as it is now, I don't know.
And when they come with this demolition squad, Sandra,
did you see how
armed men with.
Did you see how they handled Udumeje, that pastor?
The way they just throwing him around,
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Is it overzealous?
I'm sure if you reach out to government now, they will tell you they've given them adequate notice. They've done, but with situations where a lot of times too, these notices don't come. People just moving. Sometimes you even think it's the government. Sometimes it's just one influential person
that wants to use the place,
and then you have
details on pages 4 and 5. If you're going to destroy people, just allow them pack their load at least. even if you're going to be unfair to, I'm not saying that this is an unfair situation. We don't know the whole story, but if you're going to demolish, a building, allow people park there.
I'm thinking that naturally, ordinarily, if there were going to be demolitions of this nature,
compensation should be.
Well, it depends on the situation of things.
Okay.
One would have thought that the court has to be involved one way or the other. It must have been that the case
There's
was
an injunction
and giving that, not that an agency within itself just thinks of, okay, these people have violated some town planning rules and they would need to just pull their buildings down.
Well, more details on pages 4 and 5. We also have troops rescue 3 Chibok girls, arrest terrorist informant.
So we're still
recording successes in the fight against.
And then, of course, getting by the Chibok girls of the Jonathan era. That's
a very long time ago.
It's a long time, yeah.
More details on page 8 of the Punch. We also have military will tackle security challenges. Buhari assures Nigerians. That's on page 14. Now, above the masthead of the Punch, we have PDP pacifies South with BOT chair.
Take something now.
But Ayu stays.
Ayu's a strong man too. Yeah?
It's okay.
Ayu would may eventually leave. I'm thinking that he may eventually have to concede to. But my own feeling is that even if Ayu steps down, Wike will come up with another demand.
He has several demands as of now. So
you don't think that demands would wait when he win? He would bring another issue up.
That if they're going to put a new chairman, it has to be someone that he knows
but that's one thing.
Let's not speculate.
Let the PDP solve their own issues.
All right, yes. More details on page 28. We also have Pengasan threatens 30-day shutdown. Nigeria risks 1.37 trillion naira loss. Sack non-performing service chiefs. Union tells Buhari. That's on page 19.
Buhari is not quick to do things like that.
Let's not forget that Pengasan is upset with the fact that security agencies that are supposed to be protecting the pipelines are collaborating with oil thieves. That is Pengasan's problem.
They complain bitterly about that situation.
And if Pengasan stops producing the crude, Nigeria is going to lose a lot of money.
Well, we hope that the government will do the needful.
On time.
On time, yeah.
Railway pipelines GDP tumbles by 51% over insecurity and vandalism. That's also on page 20. And that's all from the Punch newspaper. I'll rush quickly through what we have from Vanguard.
Watch your steps, huh?
Yes, thank you very much. Vanguard newspaper, PDP crisis. I don't know when we're going to stop reading this.
I'm tired, Sandra.
A caller yesterday was calling and he was very upset. He was angry.
It was Barrister Oko, like,
why are we? And
but the papers are reporting.
Mind, I'm like, it's not my fault. I am looking at stories from the papers. The papers are reporting it. And the papers have to, because it is, these things are determining factors for 2023 general elections.
Those are major issues for us to consider at this time, the PDP is the major opposition party, so...
They said they are the oldest. Are they the oldest party in the country?
So what does that do to the other in Nigeria?
I'm even asking.
How are they going to be the oldest?
They are the oldest, actually.
Wait, they're the oldest because other parties have merged, have changed names. So the PDP has they remained,
They have been there.
From 1999, they are the oldest. So what does that give them?
At the end of the day.
They are the oldest and the most disunited at this time.
PDP crisis. Governor Wike kicks as IU survives. Does Wike have time for governance in Rivers State with all of what is happening?
He's going now. He's commissioning projects now.
He's not. The commissioning of projects is not just in his state. He was in Oyo. He was at Benue.
The question is, how much attention do they really pay to governance in their states?
It's okay.
Before now.
Says Jibrin's resignation is of no effect. Reveals what Ayu Atiku told him over state of party. BOT chairman Jibrin out, Wabara in. Let's resolve our problems internally. Atiku begs aggrieved members. NEC approves campaign structure. Focus on grassroots mobilization. Mom on membership and leadership. And that's on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. Will commit to robust funding of education, says Peter Obi. He has a lot to say, and he has been saying a lot.
At least he's saying something.
Like somebody that wants to declare his own.
No, I actually thought that maybe he was quoted out of context. I tried to look at it because ordinarily my question would still be that what would he be telling people during the campaigns if you are not revealing your developmental plan? So maybe it was quoted out of context.
I am telling you, for what he has said his plan. He wants to continue the legacy of the current administration. That's his plan. Why are you people asking for developmental plans?
Well, anyways.
More details on page 11 as regards Peter Obi saying he will commit to robust funding of education. DHQ, Defense Headquarters, confirms killing of over 200 terrorists in Bama Sambisa Forest.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Congratulations to our military. And that's on page 7. Regional government system can't help Nigeria anymore.
Who's saying that?
Yakasai.
You will say that, but
however,
okay.
Ohaneze, Afenifere, Pandef disagree.
Yeah, of course, I disagree too. We are better off running a regional system of government. Far better off. If you look at even our developmental strides as a nation, we had more developments, more focus as a country when we were running the regional system of government until we lumped everything together. Here we are.
That's why a lot of people today would always mention the name Obafemi Awolowo.
Yeah, what he did in the southwest at Zikwe, Amadu Bello. That was a time where we had more focus as a country.
Page 31 has more details of that. 7 feared killed as 4-story building collapses in Ibadan, and that's on page 6. Protesting oil workers demand action against pipeline vandals. That's Pengasan. That's on page 8. Insecurity. We have measures to ensure safety of Nigerians, says Buhari, and that's on page 8 also. Above the masthead of Vanguard, we have Lawan. No going back on report of our monitoring team to Yobe North. That's INEC with that one. That's on page 8
That's
also.
the Senate presidency trying to. The placeholder is not going to leave that ticket.
Speaker's impeachment. Ogun Assembly missing. They've carried the mace. And without it, they can't do much.
They can't sit. Where did they? How did the mace move out of the?
Once it's Gmail,
they will see it. They should do another one.
That is to do it. That is to do it. Who will commission it? The speaker is. The speaker is.
Don't carry the mace. Go out.
The speaker is facing problems.
They should go and check his house. What's that?
It's not the one that.
Is his personal property?
Did they
so where's the mace?
They say mace.
The arms guard that's supposed to be in charge of the mace.
They didn't say. He carried the mace. They just said as speaker impeachment, Ogun Assembly mace missing. They didn't say who.
But somebody's in charge of that mace.
Somebody carried it. But it doesn't have to be the embattled.
They will see the mace if they want to see it.
But the mace is missing.
Is it a small thing that they'll just put in pocket and move out of the assembly complex?
That's on page 10.
They should find that mace.
I wish Adeyemi was here. I'm telling
Politicians.
The mace is missing.
They can even break it.
We don't have much time. We don't have much time. Assembly mace is missing. Please help us and see it. Hope it's not one who go and see it in Gombe State. Nigeria in state of receivership needs serial miracle, says Anya. And finally from Vanguard, warrant execution, large foreign currency, military materials recovered from Mahmoud's house.
Yeah, it's a developing story. We'll keep following it here.
We'll be right back. Stay with us when we come back for Mainland Focus.
8:40, right?
Yes, by 8:40. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Stay with us.
Everyone always says I look young and ageless, and I just smile because deep down, I know who to thank. Being with you is refreshing.
From Mainland Focus, because you're on to Mainland 98.3 FM. This is the part where we get to pick one of the trending stories from the papers, and we, try to flesh things out and look deeper. All right, my name still remains Omobola Sandra. I still have Saheed Fuhad with me here in the studio, and don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. Okay, so the focus for this morning, I'm sure it's going to, be, surprising for some of us, but it's something that we really need to look into. It has been a topic of, it has been a source of debate or cause for debate for a long,
restructuring, blah, 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 yeah.
For a long while now. So, First Republic politician and also elder statesman Tanko Yakasai, said yesterday that going back to a regional system of government cannot help or can no longer help Nigeria's situation. Okay, so just in case you're wondering, the regional system of government is a type of government where each region is allowed to control resources found in their domain and then pay royalty to the central government. That's the regional system of government. Remember when we had, the Awolowo, Azikiwe, and Amadu Bello, and all of these people worked together. There was
each region was developing at its own pace.
Developing at its own pace.
At that time you had the granite pyramid in the north. You had the southwest cocoa. Coal, there was a lot of competition,
and it was a healthy one.
A healthy one, yes.
A healthy competition. This one was trying to grow this, and this one was trying to grow.
You had the first TV here, the North also trying to make sure that everybody was competing, and somehow, yeah.
But Yakas, and then but I know the people that brought us together know why they brought us together, and somebody is still saying that amalgamation thing, is something that we need to go and raise Lord Lugard and ask the various challenges that Nigeria is facing, especially where we are right now. Remember that in recent times, because of the elections that are coming, ethnicity, tribalism has been a major contender.
Even the insecurity issues we have now, Amotekun is still saying they need arms,
has been a serious issue, and all of that. So now he's saying that is not what will correct all of these things. Rather, that he's suggesting that Nigeria should drop the American federal system and adopt the French model, because according to him, the French presidential system of government is cost effective and it is suitable for Nigeria. Okay, but Fashola, Baba
Tunde Raji Fashola,
okay, because there's Babajide, there's
Babatunde Raji Fashola,
Babatunde Raji Fashola, BRF, former governor of Lagos State, also came in with his own statement and said, no, the democratic experience in 1999 came at a great cost, but then democracy is delivering solutions to problems that seem to have defied solutions. He is saying that democracy has, done a whole lot of good for us. That's Babatunde, that's Fashola's own stand. As regards Yakasai's statements that the regional government system can't help Nigeria anymore, different sociocultural groups came up and also gave their own instances and said, regionalism is still the best for Nigeria, and that's coming from Ohaneze, which is supposedly representing the southeast, Afenifere, which is supposedly representing the southwest, and then you have Pandef, that's and then you have Pandef. Okay, so when you have all of these people and then they come together and say, okay, that the regional system of government is the best one, but Yakasai is saying no, that system of government can't help Nigeria anymore. But what's interesting is the fact that he has a backing. There's someone that's backing him up, okay, that's supporting him, and that's the ACF,
the Arewa Constitutional Forum.
So in a way, the northern folks believe that they seem to flow well with this one. It seems to be favoring them. This unilateral thing that we're working with that, right
according
now.
To their own position.
According to their own position, Yakasai is a northerner. This former General Secretary of Arewa Consultative Forum also said that position is in order.
Well, Sandra, who
do you flow with now?
Well, I just feel that the issue of restructuring is a question that we must continue to talk about, and a major issue for 2023. I'll not go too far into history, because I guess that a lot of us understand how we moved from the regional system of government to when Aguirre brought up the unitary system of government idea, and then Gawan brought 12 states, and then we keep expanding the states, and then we pretend to be running a proper federal structure. Look, the American system is not faulty, like Yakasa is saying. It's just that what we have adopted as the American system is not what we are practicing. For example, the American system allows for state police, county police. Are we doing that? So we should ask ourselves, what we've borrowed as a federal system of government from the United States is not what we are practicing. What we are practicing is a semi-form of unitary system of government where everything is still majorly lumped at the center. So the issue of the structure of the country is what we should continue to discuss. For me, even though we don't go the route of regional government, complete regionalism, regional system of government, we need to still ask questions about how we are running our federal structure. The issues on the exclusive list, the concurrent list, and the residual list. We must all sit down to agree and devolve power to the regions, devolve power to the states, devolve more power so that we weaken the center. For example, one of the problems of structure, Sandra, is the issue of the national grid. Who brought up the idea of a national grid? So we need to ask ourselves so that the government at the center, the exclusive list, is majorly about security and sovereignty of the nation. Other things should devolve more to the states. I'll just say this, Sandra, just 1 minute. Recently, Atiku at the NBA conference talked about returning universities to the states. You know, he said it.
Yes.
And part of the statements he made, and that's why I said this is the time to probe these politicians, was that, the nation was doing very well when the regions were taking care of everything, taking care of schools. He was talking majorly about schools and universities. And what came to my mind was that if we ask Atiku today now that, you believe in regionalism, you thought that, the period of regionalism, the schools were doing well when states were managing these things. Does he also believe that states and regions should control their resources? Well, I will start.
All right, so open up the phone line very soon, and I'm asking this question: do you think that the regional government system should be adopted? Not in totality. It means that each region will be responsible for themselves. We're not saying, divide us.
We're not dividing the country.
That's not what we're saying. But unbundling, the central and making each region more responsible for themselves and making it easier. Remember, what is the regional system? It doesn't mean break away. It just simply means each region is allowed to control their resources, but then they still pay royalty to the central government. So there is still a central government.
And then, of course, that creates healthy competition.
There's still a central government in a regional system. But, for example, just as Fuad has said, the national grid, what does each state,
or regions from having its own,
each region from having their own, grid, which makes it easier so that the grid won't be collapsing all the time.
When something is smaller, it's easier to manage, easier to maintain.
We also have the issue. We also have the issue of state policing,
which is also part of the debate.
Is also part of it. If you look at it, do you think that at this stage that we are in now, look at Akeredolu.
Yes.
The decision has held his hands. He has to start begging the federal government, please arm Amotekun. Please let Amotekun carry arm. Please you understand where I'm coming from.
I understand. Yeah.
And the guy is desperate because a lot is happening in
the states. Yeah.
At the moment. But
even as the chief security officer of the state, the governor, he has no power to do anything.
He can't give order to the commissioner of police.
Never. It won't happen.
Let's not forget what happened in Lagos some months ago.
You
understand what I'm saying? So now we have Yakasai saying that reverting to regional system of government can no longer help the Nigerian situation, and he's being supported by former Secretary General of the Arewa Consultative Forum, Mr. Anthony Sani, who is saying that position is in order. Then you also have on another side Ohaneze Ndigbo, Afenifere Pandef, saying that, the regional system of governments, regionalism is still the best. And
I think Fashola is actually
for Nigeria
saying more about the federal system.
Fashola is talking about the restructuring now. He's coming from the angle of democracy is delivering solutions, and as it is now, democracy has delivered an interstate train service, the first and only one. He's more concerned in the workings, actually. Right. Yes. So, but what we are looking at is these two sides now. Where do you stand? What do you think? Do you think?
I think he knows what he's saying on that.
But let me also break that down. The American system is the presidential system. The British people are using the parliamentary system. system. French is using both
together, yeah.
together.
So is that even cheaper?
So he's so if you look at both together, do you think that will also help us and save us? That's what Yakasai is saying.
I think the American model is perfect if we really follow it the way the Americans practice it.
Just as they say, they have their county chiefs.
Not what we hear doing yet.
So let's open up the phone line. 091-36000410. 091-36000410. Regionalism. What is your thoughts? What do you think as regards that? All right. 091-36000410.
Let's keep it clean.
2 minutes and keep it clean, please. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, thank God for today. About
your name and where are you calling from?
Engineer Robert.
Oh, okay.
Carry on.
So, Yankafai state is nothing to go. It's nothing to go. To go with, because we have seen. There are so many, even if we were not born when the Awos were doing the original system of government, taking over the affairs of the Western, the Amadu Bellos of the Northerners, and so there are so many developments happening. And then we were lesser in population. Even the American presidential system of government, we say we are practicing. There is no federal character in our own practice. So why don't we even go into it deep? Let us go back into the regional system of government where we can get the governor can take over the affairs of its state. There will be autonomy, everything, even the chairman of local government. Do you know the chairman of local government, they are handicapped? There's nothing to write on it. Let's go back to that regional system of government. Right. Let's do like the American system, that the way they are practicing it. Then we have young.
Okay. Thank you.
Not young is People's Redemption Party.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for that correction. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
Sandra, how are you? I'm fine.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. Sandra, this issue of Yakafai and the former, saying that the regionalism is no good. You see, it's a parasitic system where it is like bed bug being in your body and eating your blood, you know, and it's like it choose the bed bug fine, but you who is suffering from, you are suffering. So if we don't unbundle the present system, it could lead to war. It could lead to a lot of crisis in the future. We cannot continue pretending that everything is okay. Look at, for instance, almost on a monthly basis, all the states have to go to Abuja begging for money. You know, that is not what democracy is all about. If we say we want to run democracy, let's run democracy. If we want to say we want to run dictatorship and oligarchy, which is what we are practicing today, because democracy is not practiced the way we are practicing. Look at Buhari is alpha and omega. Everything is under the presidency. Is that the way it is run in America? That's not the way it is run. Even in Britain or Germany. If we want to run democracy, we run it the way it is run in this way. It's great. That's why we must agree whether we want to live together or not. If all the resources, all this oil,
thank you, Barrister.
If it is in the north,
it's okay.
Thank you, Barrister Oko.
Good morning.
At least we got your point completely. Can you please speak up?
Obinawane, please speak up. It's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. What of you?
I'm okay, thank you. Carry on.
Okay. Yeah. I don't even know what is about this comment. See, state need to generate money. Local government need to generate money. Okay. Now, it's not bad thing if a state is generating electricity or is having their own police or is building infrastructure and also providing social amenities, because this is what the people need. And state need to generate tapping all the resources that we have in Nigeria. Now, it's not able to provide the state to also tap resources and make money and give people all this, give them everything that we need. You understand? This is what we are talking about. It's not about withdrawing power from center or this and that. We just need, that is what we need.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Obinawani, for sharing your contribution with us. But I have a question for it. Is there any region that does not have resources to take care of itself? Exactly. Thank you.
It's a blessed country.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Said Fuad, incontrovertible.
Good morning, ma.
AKA, God will continue to protect all of you.
Amen.
What I know is the person that collapsed, the general, is still alive. Can we ask him questions why he did that? Do you know the retired general?
Yeah, you're thinking about Gawan, but he didn't start it.
No, he started it.
Okay, well, all right, just go on.
He collapsed regional system into 12
states, yes.
Yes, from terrorism is no longer tenable. We must quash it. Yeah, anarchical system of ruling. But in the south, we don't have.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
All right. I think we'll.
The line.
I think that's the network issue there.
Is he still there?
Hello.
I think the foundation of collapsing the regional system of government started with Agunyorosi, who brought up the unitary system of government. And so when he was overthrown and Gowon took over, what he did was to create states.
Expanding, yes, that's what Gowon was doing.
So,
he was not the one that started it.
But he still kept the idea of the unitary system. That what worked for military. It's a command thing.
He's a military.
Here we are.
Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Awolo Christopher. I'm speaking from Kebunle.
All right, good morning. Please go ahead.
Okay, the issue is that everybody knows the matter of who gets caught when and how. The regional system is better. They themselves know. But because that's the federalist system or unitary system as they are advocating by Yakasai, we favor them.
We look at development, issues of insecurity, poverty, has he really
favored them?
Yeah,
they are the worst hits in a lot of issues that we are having in this country.
That is true, but they are not seeing it that way. The masses there are being controlled. If you have lived in North, you know that the masses doesn't speak for themselves; they speak for them, and they're the one in control of everything. So the regional system, by and large, everything now is regional. It has to be interdependent, not wanting everything at the center. All of us. So the India, if we can still, and we are not going to have it to that restructuring or whatever we are talking about. We can't have it in the country now because the majority they still speak with one voice. Then it's there. So they have spoken and they will not allow it to happen. And because of that, we will continue to have crisis in the country. Especially you will continue to fuel agitations.
All right. Okay. 10. That's the number for you to call and share your contribution. Is regionalism working for Nigeria, or do you think that's the best thing for us to adopt at this time? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Prince Wise. The quality of the call is quite low.
Okay, let's call back.
All right.
Okay, all right.
We'll appreciate that. Thank you. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ambrose. I live in Mowe.
Good morning, Pastor Ambrose.
We thank God for another day.
Yes, so.
You go to China, You go to Malaysia, you go to Indonesia, you go to Canada, you go to USA, you go to Great Britain, you go to France. They all have different system of government. Is it not working? I don't think it's the system of government that is working. It is the corruption of the constitution. So even if you bring the France type of government or whatever, it's not going to work. What we need are strong institutions, our own kind of system of government, which I cannot describe.
We don't even
because all these because all these countries that I mentioned, things are working well.
They have their own unique style and it's working for them.
Thank you. So the people that are being governed, they begin to take side, even those who have been impoverished. So I don't think it's the system. I think that what we need to do is to make institutions allow him.
They are still dragging him.
Exactly. The system did not allow him, but here in this country, we can bootlick, leaders, and just because they are in power. I remember when Ruben Abati said the moment Jonathan lost, he said a very prominent friend of Jonathan came to Aso Rock. He said, "Sir, did you come to see Mr. President?" He said, who is Mr. President? Who is he? Do I know him? So I think that it's not the system of government. It is the people. And until we have I don't know how they I don't know how they call that man. That can come in and then sanitize the system. We were thinking that Buhari will be able to do it, but unfortunately, he just came there to take care of his health. Good morning.
Good morning, Damilola.
Good morning, Mr. Val. Good morning.
Morning, Damilola.
Honestly, I don't know about this guy talking now. Who is this guy talking now?
Thank you. That is very popular.
Let's be realistic. Is he too so young not to know the difference between journalism and federalism?
He knows.
Okay, I understand. When he was talking about that, during the time of Awolowo and when they are practicing journalism, can we compare the rate of development then to our own designed federalism here in Nigeria?
Our own design.
Yes. I'm not just said it. We are actually carving it out on our own. They are very different. In fact, only in Nigeria you see democracy that happens grand of killing. In fact, arena of everything. Now, if we are not going to go back to regionalism, then it's high time we sit down and restructure this country. Let's practice true federalism. All this nonsense we are practicing like here, it's high time we roll it away. Where is federal character? Some people are benefiting, some leaders are benefiting. Look at the cabinet of Mr. President. We can say and glad the tribe that dominated the cabinet. Then who is fooling who? So, in fact, that man should go and sit down and think we need to serve this country, and that is the most important thing. Then we need to embrace true democracy, true federalism.
And the focus for this morning is coming from Tanko Yakasai's statement saying that regional government system can't help Nigeria anymore. In way that we should adopt the French system of government, which is a combination of the presidential system of the Americans and the parliamentary system of the Britain. Wants to confuse us the more. I don't know.
The American system is so straightforward. We've messed it up.
They have constitution, but they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing.
Of course.
So if what we've had so far from our callers is that even the one that we have, do we know what it is? Are we using it well? That's another question that we should ask ourselves.
We've messed it up year in year out. The military.
So which one are we doing?
We have what I call a quasi-federal system of government.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra and
Fuad.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Halaji Zubair.
Thank you very much. I want Nigeria to understand the basis of our amalgamation on this regionalism. The purpose of amalgamation is to operate on regionalism. That is the basic principle of our amalgamation. That is what merges us together. Everybody to work on its own space. You understand? That is the fundamental principle of our amalgamation. It is these people that messes. You understand? The amalgamation was, look, God has perfect Nigeria. Look at River Niger. Look at River Benue.
You understand? For what? If you're going to the north, once you come down from the Niger Bridge.
You know you've changed from a region to another region. Yeah, nature has divided us peacefully.
Exactly. Naturally, God has divided us, which is way that is for us to live in our own, live in a so state regionalization. You understand? So you see, but now the system we are running is favoring some people, and that is why they capitalize on it. Let me tell you. Look at the composition of the senators. No matter the election you did, the Northern will always be ahead, unless we have to come down to the table. You understand? In terms of region, our amalgamation was based on regionalization. Everybody work on university, and that's what is working. The Western region is the Eastern region, they are advancing. You understand? So that is the point. Then the issue of pipeline binder, please. I just want to say.
You're over 2 minutes already.
2 minutes. Let me just say. I just want to advise the very well. The civil defense, their main purpose is to guide the pipeline. So what is their job? What is their
All right, thank you, Alhaji Subaru. I appreciate. Okay, so 09136 this morning. But before we go on, let's take some messages. At this point now, we have here Festus from Command. The ball is in our court. We only have to event.
Yeah.
He said that, the decision makers, what?
Yes.
In so many instances, has been on pause for
this is almost 7, even when they were not on break. What have they done?
That's the president by veto.
Nobody told them to embarrass the president.
By first trending today, all imagine if 2020 against 2023 was so inspiring and uplifting. Vote while Wike's matter. Wike's matter for me is weightless. How can IU happen to be from the north and the presidential aspirant is from the north? Didn't they foresee this before now? What is fighting for, I'm concerned, lacks merit. Olawale from Iju. Nigeria already has outgrown regional system of government, but rather we should practice a robust federalism like Americans, where federating units contributing to is the oldest party as of today.
Yeah, I think it was Aminu Kano.
Kola Abiola is their presidential candidate. Yes. So they have wanted Lule. All right. Good morning, Sandra. Please, people don't understand state cannot oversee the security of his state except he or she gets approval from the presidency.
No, that is a robust federalism that the last person was talking about. Regionalism means we have regions, but a robust federal system has a situation where federating units can contribute to central, and most powers are given to the states and the local councils.
We need to sit down and determine what works for us as a country. Sam from Ota, thank you very much. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Lady Sandra.
Good morning once again.
Are you hearing me now?
Perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. What?
Morning, sir.
May God bless all of you and bless our management.
Amen.
See, this morning, the democracy we are practicing now is just too expensive and tainted with corruption. The best, Babawolowo, what do you remind us? He just died yesterday. Because what he did when he was in frame of Western region, all the money they got from Mexico, whether to taxi, whether from Bandri down to West to everywhere, he used money to destroy the Westerner. And that's why we are saying that today. We talk about free education. You mind them, the show why if all the Westerners today, 95 of Western education are will over to eternity. So for me, and now Nigeria, the government, or if anything for you, it is your own. Who turned out to unity government? I saw last 2019, he was trying to say, I want to just invite to federal region. Late, 1964, they added the Midwestern region. Look at what's happening. When you're talking about tribalism today, religious statement today, it's that those junta. That's where tribalism started today. So for me, please let me run over my daughter Sandra.
Yes, sir.
Democracy is dead, and the after and the order. What was his planning for resources now? You just personally travel to National Assembly. Then when you feel considered one day, who will buy the car? They are not talking on the date of meeting that never take action.
Thank you.
Let me stop and just take my idea.
Amen. Thank you very much, Prince Wise. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
No.
You're sounding very far from your phone.
You sound very distant.
Can you hear me?
No.
Good Good morning. This is Paul from Ebeda.
All right, Paul, please go ahead.
Sandra, on a lighter note, it's just about you, okay? Each time you're introducing yourself, you say, I still remain Sandra. Are you?
It's still
that is just on a lighter note.
I know.
Okay. So, you see, not on principle.
Okay.
Number one, the kind of politicians we have today that are representing our government, it has to go through the process of voting in the National Assembly. Even the southern representatives will never vote for regional government because they are benefiting from this system that is ongoing. So that is the content I am agreeing with him. But in principle, the best for us is regional. So the problem sometimes we begin to blame the North. Your station, Sandra and the colleague, you guys are very wise people. Because if you had brought, because I have been watching since morning, I said, let me see what would be the focus we receive from Nigeria.
We can't do that.
Yes. You are very wise. In fact, I give you thumbs up. Because the problem tends to be, it does not work in favor of the black man of Nigeria.
You can start rapping.
Because today, over there, are benefiting from this misrule that is going on here. So,
thank you, Mr. Paul.
Thank you.
I appreciate. We appreciate your contribution. I agree to you guys emphatically. Let me first pay tribute to Her Royal Majesty, late Queen Elizabeth. Rest in peace. Mr. Fuad, do you know that despite the available resources across the country, some regions will do better than others if we go back to regional government? Many state governors are lazy because our national resources
they go to Abuja now.
Is being shared equally when some states are working more. Regional government will do two things. It will create competition and hasten development as there won't be any Father Christmas again to share money. Sandra, tell listeners to go and collect their PVC. It's 1 month since I collected mine and I announced it here. Yes, he did. He announced that, and he said the INEC rec in Lagos, that's Mr. Shego Agbaje, was saying yesterday that there's still almost 1 million uncollected PVCs in Lagos.
So people should go out there and collect your PVCs, please.
And please go and collect your
the same energy that you used to register, please. Use to collect the PVC.
You stood in a queue for hours. So if you can do that, then don't let it be in vain. And that's James Ogbonna, making sure that we do that. Good morning, Sandra and Fuad, and every other person in the studio. Okay. The Northerners are afraid of being self-independent. For God's sake, let every region be competent enough to devise a means of generating source of revenue. Can we remain a sucking child forever? Well, maybe now the Queen of England is late. The intending new king will stay. That's an interesting one. A great number of northern elites are so relaxed because this abysmal system we operate, handed over to us by military, favors them. So they've kept regions who want to grow at fast pace down because they want to crawl up to them. North has more states, more local governments, more constituencies, etc. Regional government is better than what we have today. Else, let's restructure or allow regions go with their republics. We don't have NAS. We see why APC pulled Saraki out at all costs. 2014 confab gave us what we needed to live well together, but APC stood it down. Have we forgotten? No, we have not forgotten.
No.
Chijoke from Isolo, thank you very much for the reminder. 09136000410. That's the number for you to call and share your contributions. Do you think the regional government of system cannot help Nigeria at this point where we are? It can't help again, or do you think regionalism is still the best for Nigeria? That's the conversation this morning. Hello, just that. Yes.
Yes. I wanted to salute your wisdom in picking to this topic, like the previous caller said. So you go to back Queen Elizabeth for change up for you.
Well, how is that? How does that affect us? Well, with you, your name, please.
My name is Da Vinci. I'm calling from Sherry.
Sherry. All right, please.
But on the issue of regionalism, I quite align with the last caller. I think is the way forward. This form of out a name for the new system of government that we run I noticed that most scholars have been saying,
what's the name?
What's the name of it?
It's called Kakisto Barakpo Kleptosapacracy. Please repeat.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't repeat.
No. We're not going to repeat that. But we have
understand you.
We have heard you. Don't repeat it again. It's okay. We have heard you. It's okay.
Thank you very much.
It's all right. Thank you.
Klepto.
Hello, good morning.
Damilala.
Hallelujah.
Sandra.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, been a while. Yeah, I listen. Maybe at times I try to call and that's what we're praying for. Like, let's have like 1,000 calls. Please increase the time so you get.
It's okay.
We'll try.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I think regional government to bring about healthy competition. It will enable us to have credible CEOs who actually understand that managing the state is as good as managing a company. I mean, if you keep declaring losses every year, then the shareholders have the right to boot you out.
Yeah.
You get. Even at times, they can even say that they want to go even before the expiration of the tenure. Yeah. And then, because even if you want to thief, you only thief when there's money. You get. So you want to thief,
you need to work, you can't thief.
Exactly. So you are sure that no VAT remittance money is coming, no all the whatever money is coming. You need to
till the soil and work.
Exactly. And I keep telling people, see, they are blessed. Take away the oil. In those days, there used to be the groundnut pyramids in the north. You have the oil plantation in the south. You have here even kola nut. You get. We have kola nut here. Even in Jebu, you got the cocoa. And the life.
In fact, they will tell you that there's no state in Nigeria without the resources. There's no state in Nigeria.
Exactly.
No single state.
So let's even say, no, this is it. And we have abundance of natural resources that can, maybe that can actually bring tourists to the country. Go to Nigeria, they go Guara Falls. You will look at nature and you'll be in the hall.
Even Mabela Plateau in Taraba State.
Exactly, yeah. A friend of our office came around. He's not even a Nigerian. We talked. Said, okay, I want to go to Badagry. I want to go to. I took her to land of point of no return, and I'm like, this is money. With same point of no return is in Senegal, and they are making money from it. Same point of no return is in Ghana. Ghana government is making money from it. Go to the one in Badagry. Money. It is no longer a function of wait for money from the federal. See. By then we have a lovely democracy that can be studied.
Thank you very much, Damlola. All right, we have to wrap things up with a few messages because today is Friday, so Agri Half Hour comes up immediately.
Oh, no global view today.
No global view today.
Okay. I wanted to greet the Queen.
Mwabuezi was the man who drafted the constitution that took away powers from regions and handed it to the central government because his brother Agui Ronsi was the head of state. Today, he's shouting restructuring.
I don't want to go into that history because there's a lot lumped in that history. But again, we all know what happened. Yeah,
we did not forget. Ade from Isolo, good morning. No politics.
Make it clear.
Thank you. They enjoy using our commonwealth to develop their region because they're afraid of being
Northern
left
elites,
out.
Yeah.
Somebody is
not
now.
The people.
That's Ade from Solo. I also have this one says Northerners do not welcome the region government at all. Even Atiku is talking about restructuring. Let's check it.
He's just faffing around.
He's no longer talking about it. Timothy from Ojo also said that Land Use Act is our major problem.
It's part of the problem. But that was done by a Yoruba man.
Good morning, the sound of Lagos. Yes, that's us. My name is Steve Ikelu from Maryland. On politics, I would say bravo to PDP's decision not to jettison IU going by the vote of confidence. Wike carries himself as if he owns PDP. You can get angry the most. Doesn't matter. A tree doesn't make a forest.
Really? Yeah, that's true.
Good morning, Mainland FM. Please, going by okay, I think we've taken this message already. But thank you very much, everyone who we had this conversation today. It was
calls too. I think the lines are still
robust, conversation.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, most people went with the fact that what we have is good. It's just not being utilized. How can you have something and you're not using it? I don't know how it makes sense. What was that thing he called it? Parakpo, something.
He said klepto. It's too complicated.
We're not going to repeat it. But what he is saying is basically what most most people said that what we have, this system,
the federal system is good. It can work for us.
It can work.
But we are not practicing it.
It's the implementation
we've messed it up completely.
This is the problem.
So we have a unitary quasi federal system.
And for those who have an issue with regional system of government, this government can also work as the regional system.
If we do proper federalism,
Yes, because the regional system of government still reports
devolves power,
to the central. You know, so if we can do that, I mean, you know, it works for everybody. It's a win-win at the end of the day.
End of the day,
for those who are calling for it and for those who are not calling for it. All right, but thank you very much. It was an interesting conversation this morning, and thank you. Also, Fuhad Saeed for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. Please do not forget that in the Situation Room this evening by 4 p.m. Opeyemi Akinyode is going to be taking on Omoyele Sowore, the presidential comrade Omoyele Sowore, the presidential candidate of Action Africa Congress. So he's going to be in the Situation Room live in the studio, and you can also watch it live on Facebook and YouTube,
and call in too.
And you can also call in to ask your questions. All right, so I can't wait for that one. I really want to hear, because you know we had Donyo Kukwe on Monday. We had Donyo Kukwe on Monday. We're having Yele Sowore this evening. I can't wait for us to also hear from you know Brajando. Let's also hear.
Yeah, we're trying to bring him. We'll drag him into the
Let's also hear what he has to say. These are interesting times
coming. Yes, and the campaigns are coming too. So our listeners should be rest assured that they'll hear a lot from this.
Brace up. We're definitely going to be ensure that we bring you all of these frontliners,
political actors.
Yes, for you to know what exactly they have to offer. It's very important, because 2023 is a make or mar.
And we must get it right too, by force, by fire.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM, and we are the sound of Lagos. I still remain Omobola Sandra.
It's a new dawn, a different terrain, a feisty sound, an emergence of entertainment you have never felt.
This is your radio.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Fine boy in your Nike, look good, speak good, and I'm a type, no. Fine boy in your Nike, turn my water around. Fine boy in your Nike, so good, good when we're making love. Fine boy in your Nike. Tell me how I think to love anyone when you give me the word. And when I let my guard on you,